We need our tank.
Yes, we absolutely do. Also,
and the character with the highest stats.
hello everyone sitting and waiting in the stream. I know a few okay. Thank you, Mouth, for functioning. I know a few of you are sitting there waiting. And yeah, I'm so glad you're here. We are going to sort of get started here. We have to wait on Red to show up before we actually get started. So we're just going to sit here and, I don't know, talk shit until she shows up.
I'm still thinking about us. So we have 4 characters now, but do we miss anyone to have a proper long con crew?
An actual thief?
Don't you have that?
Oh, we do have a rogue, don't we? I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm dumb. I am totally the dumb.
We got the rogue.
Well, we've got a cat burglar at least.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, for sure.
We got the hit.
I built him to be a damn good one. Maybe not so good on the fighting, but great on the stealing.
Yeah, we got the hitter. Do we have the grifter?
Aren't you the grifter? Or, well, I guess...
I think that's your job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
You're the
means
guy
that
with the Ponzi schemes in this game.
Yeah. Okay, I am the grifter. That means we lack the techie, and we lack the techie slash wizard in this case. Alchemist.
I am a wizard. I'm playing the wizard.
Are you going to
So
put
that
on your
means-
robe and wizard hat?
That makes you the techie.
Well, I've got a robe I could put on. And I've got the beard. A little bit.
How does a skeleton grow a beard?
No, the player
Mastermind?
has the beard.
Oh,
The skeleton,
okay.
I guess I could... I've got it. I'll find a ZZ Top-styled bard, and I'll just steal it.
You know what I was imagining was the skeleton with one of those fake Santa beards just stuck to its face.
Oh, I'm doing that now.
What with Skelebro?
That would actually be hilarious.
I will wear a fake beard, put on a hat.
I thought we were going to put you in a doll body.
Well, we're gonna put his character in an adult body. We were gonna just stick stuffing and like stuff inside the skeleton. Make it a life-size doll.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thief could always just steal someone's skeleton and I could just slip in its place. Hmm?
Right.
I mean, they won't be using that body anymore. Problem
Yeah.
solved.
Yeah, but we want that body rot, or how you have a spell that makes it not be rotting anymore.
Details.
I still think a doll body would be funner. A life-sized halfling doll thingy.
Then people would recognize me, though.
Yeah, but we can have many such doll bodies, and you have one that is your public persona.
Wait until I start creating ghosts, then we can worry about doll bodies.
I definitely just heard mayonnaise, and I'm.
Mayonnaise.
He said manage, but it sounded like mayonnaise. We can mayonnaise that doll body. What? What kind of things are you into, friend?
Clearly
Doing a heckin'
mayonnaising.
disservice to the rest of the party, that's what. Come on, it's fan service for the viewers at that point.
Okay, it's the mastermind we don't have.
Is the what now?
The mastermind, that is what we're lacking.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I thought that was what our tank was going to be doing.
Oh yes.
If the tank shows up...
What's her intelligence score?
13.
Master. Oh wait, that's true. It is pretty high for an orc.
She got crazy amazing roll. She got a crazy amazing roll for that.
I got 14 intelligence, so... I'm smart too.
Oh,
Yeah, but 13 for an orc? That's just amazing. That's
I
like,
guess.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
while we're waiting for our tank, I can show you a picture I was drawing of the tank.
certainly.
This'll be good.
Hold on. It's obviously not finished. I haven't worked on it in a couple of days, but let's see. Export.
Phage, you're not in the Roll20.
Oh, that's right. I need to get into the Roll20.
Are you going to do some hacker magic now? Hack Roll20 to get inside Roll20.
I'm just going to get logged in.
Well, that's a boring way to get inside of Roll20.
Yeah. That reminds me of this YouTube discussion, so this epic hacker battle. Then once asked, so how did you mess with that page? Oh, I was already logged in.
Oh god, Red is gonna love this.
You know, it was an interesting challenge trying to draw a feminine yet beefy as fuck orc.
I think you managed. Marvelously.
Nice.
And there's the cat trying to steal that pastrami sandwich.
I was still brainstorming on exactly how to draw the cat.
I'll just show this off for a while on the chat, for the video.
Well, maybe you could put like a little, like a word bubble over the orc with a heart in it, and a word bubble over the cat with a sandwich in it.
Maybe it could be the cat in a hat. Nice.
You're an amazing artist there, Ajwa.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, really good.
I love the mouth ajar ready to bite down and the eyes are pointing over at the cat.
Yes.
Oh, Red just sent me a message. She will be at just a moment.
All right.
Yay!
She was apparently running behind on schedule. So she just got home, so she's got to do some things, and then she'll hop in the chat, and then we can get started.
All right.
Excellent.
Wow.
Well,
I know that I actually got a proper mic. I hope that I can start doing Twitch streams.
Well, that would be cool.
Yeah.
All right.
You have any particular game in mind?
I'm thinking Monster Hunter.
You should play Stellaris with me.
I could do that too.
Maybe we should all get together for a game of Masters of Orion.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Ooh.
Now that's an old game.
Just
Yeah,
because it's old doesn't mean it isn't still epic.
I don't even. My brothers owned the game. I don't remember if I ever actually played Masters of Orion.
I played Masters of Orion. It's simple. It's a bit like Civilization in a way, just in space.
Mm. Yeah, I recall that. And then I remember they had this one same era game, but I think it was in 3D, but at the same time I don't remember because I think everything was in 3D, even when it couldn't possibly have been. Was this this game that had a bunch of, like, they were mechas? There's a bunch of mechs. I'm trying to remember. Same era game.
Mech
It was a
Warrior?
sci-fi.
It makes me think about the one Mech Warrior game I played that was a strategy game. I really miss it. I haven't found the CDs for it anymore, so... Didn't really understand the game much when I played it back then. I just bullied it through, but now I think I can play it properly.
What year did Mech Warrior come out?
1996.
Yeah, it could have been maybe. I'm trying to find pictures, but all I see is Mech Warrior 5. But the robots did look similar to that, so it very, very well could have been.
Well, another thing that might be fun would be getting some networkable emulators and doing an Eternal Champions game.
That could be interesting.
We could
Old
also
fighting games.
Yeah, we could also mess around with Borrowed Trauma.
Now, a game that I wouldn't mind playing again with a bunch of people is, does anybody remember Tenaris?
Nope.
No.
I'm drawing a blank on this one.
Okay, so it was probably about the same era. It probably came out about 15 to 20 years ago. And it was owned by Sony, I think. It was a tank game. And you just drove around and basically there was like an obstacle courses and bases and you just killed people with your tanks. It was fun.
Tenaris was a free 3D multiplayer online tank first-person shooter released on November 30th, 1997. It was developed under the direction of John Smedley at Veront Interactive and published by Sony Interactive Studios America. Originally titled Armageddon. Ooh.
Oh.
It was so much fun. I spent so many hours playing that game.
I wonder if Sea of Thieves ever is going to come on PC.
Probably not. We could do Team Fortress, though.
Yeah. Old school Team Fortress.
I think we could manage Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think everyone
free.
has it, so... If you have Steam, you've got TF2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't it free on Steam?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see who gets the weirdest looking hat by the end of the session.
Yeah, and then we could do what's it called? Fashion thing at the end.
The only thing I can think of when I think of Team Fortress is Victor. That's his name, right? Sorry, I want to call him Victor because of Victor from Lackadaisy. Heavy weapons guy.
The heavy.
Ooh, touch my gut. You know what? I'm not going to bother doing that one because Red will come on and she'll hurt me because I screw up the accent.
Oh God, I bet she has choice things to say about that, you know, on her own.
Some people think they can outsmart me. Maybe so, but I have yet to see someone who can outsmart Bullet. Best line ever.
I wonder if I should do a Twitch stream of The Fall. It's a very interesting game series.
The Fall. Never heard of it.
It's basically the story of a robotic suit that crash lands on a planet, and her quest to try and save the user inside of her.
Interesting.
But in order to overcome the obstacles, she needs to subvert her own rules.
Hold on a second. We've got cats being buttheads. Cats are being buttheads.
Oh, that's nothing new.
Did everyone make a token, by the way?
I did not.
No, sorry.
Alright, well, let's see. There are a ton of free assets that you can use to make tokens, or you can upload an image to link to your character sheet. The way you make tokens is kind of backwards. Oh shit, wrong map. We're going here first. to the corner of Snail and Waterdeep. But yeah, if you want to search through the free assets, they've got a lot of options. However, I don't think many of them will work for you guys. Otherwise, you can just use, like, any old token you want, and you gotta drag it onto the thing, onto the map, and then you open up, then you select it, open your character sheets, click edit, and actually, hold on a second. Oh, okay. So Sifu and Tegwin already have tokens. Well, wait. Why can't I select you now?
I don't think I have a token so much as a portrait.
You have a portrait, but a portrait will replace a token. Will serve as a token, rather. Saul needs to, in the very least, add a token, even if it's just, you know, a generic
Saul,
picture.
you can add the chibi I did of your other character. I imagine he looks much the same.
I am totally going to open this image
How am I going to find it?
Oh, here, I'll crop it and everything for you. Or do you want the other one, the full head, the one that's a little less chibi?
I go for chibi.
Okay.
Because I'm a chibi type of guy. Doing chibi type of stuff. In a chibi type of way.
In a chibi world?
Yeah.
I'm a chibi girl in a chibi world. The fuck am I singing that for?
I don't know. Why are you singing that?
It's an excellent question to which I don't have an excellent answer, which is why I'm asking myself.
Because it was in all of our heads. So.
Yes, clearly.
Let's see, where is...
Someone should really make that song a reality with animations.
Oh dear.
Black and white. And crayon pictures in the background.
If only I liked doing animation.
I think we could send you tokens.
Great, I got the audience singing it now.
Ha 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 ha. Alright.
I love our audience.
We got the best audience.
Okay, where did I save that? There it is.
That reminds me that Critical Role, I think it was Critical Role, they had this thing they did where if they got donations, that was tokens that the players can spend if they were in a tight spot. It was fun.
That's interesting. When did they start that?
Towards the later sessions, I believe.
Yeah.
I only got halfway through.
It depended on the system they used and such, but basically it made them get them options. For instance, they had one session where they had a will beat.
Perfect. Here you go, Sevi. I'm going to throw it into the Discord.
Okay.
Under Waterdeep. I think it's perfect.
That is perfect. Did you find that in the free assets?
I found it. Well, it's set up for. It's on DeviantArt, but
well,
it was tagged as a Roll20 asset.
If you go to My Library under the Art Library tab, you can upload it, drag it onto the map, open your character sheet, and add it as a token.
I don't think I have access to the library on your game.
It should be based on your own library, because I've got tokens from my other games in here.
Well, yeah, I can access mine, but I can't access mine in your game.
Alright, well, simple enough to fix. Open original, save, close, upload. Here, there you are.
There you go, Saul.
Correct.
Thank you.
Now we drag and place you on there.
Does this character have wonderful, beautiful hair too?
Why not? I am Saul. Okay, so I download this picture, right?
Yeah, you download it, and then on your profile, under Edit, like where your bio and info is, you can upload it.
Okay.
So yeah, now Tegwin has an overhead token.
You can use a cat for me.
I would not be surprised if there's a cat.
Oh, I'm
There
sure
we
there
go.
is.
Free assets, cats.
Just make a couple of changes here so my HP bar shows up.
Okay.
Okay, Scrit, now is not the time, honey. You should have been begging for Luz earlier.
Do you need to log out of the game to add it, or?
I might need to add it for you.
It doesn't look like I can make the changes for getting the hit points to show up under bar 3 or my nameplate.
You should have edit permissions on that shit. 1 second.
Okay.
Come on, catch up with yourself, thank you. Yeah, it can be edited and controlled by Phage. Save changes. You, do you have the little, gear icon when you select it?
I do, but any changes I make won't carry over into, other maps.
It should be editing the token.
Yeah, but if the token isn't set right, when it gets locked into the bio, then when it gets drug into a new scene, it won't have the attributes locked to it.
Okay, I got an avatar now.
I really hate this system. I really hate Roll20 so much.
It's a little backwards.
Yeah, it's something I noticed a lot of these systems. It is that either they innovate in the wrong direction or they don't innovate at all.
Great, of course. Trying to set it to represents character. Tegwin has completely locked up. Grumble groan.
Okay, I got.
Let's kill off the extra windows.
I uploaded my soul image, but
Yeah, I see it.
well, I'm a token now.
Well, I think she's working on Tegwin.
I would be working on Tegwin if fucking Roll20 wasn't shitting all over me. Okay, browser, you suck. Killing that. Die tab, thank you.
Well, you know that song we were messing around with. I believe it is a I believe it's a Danish group, or it was a Norwegian group with a Danish singer.
Aqua? I'm not sure.
Yes, Aqua. I believe they're Norwegians.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Because most of the 90s songs that were like really weird and catchy were Europeans.
Oh yeah. I am blue, da 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 blue, da 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 da.
So, oh wait,
oh, Aki, definitely not a Christian song.
Yeah,
And yet the Christians loved it just like they loved.
Oh yeah, everyone.
Macarena.
I mean, I was a kid too in the 90s, so you know, I didn't understand what that meant at the time either.
Yeah.
Now, what bars do you want? I set bar 3 to HP because it's red.
I think that would be the only one that's important.
Alright.
That
awesome.
and that locking it and setting it to show the nameplate.
I miss the 90s. The music was so silly and innocent back then.
Yeah, I miss the 90s because everything seemed to be a hell of a lot more chill back then.
Oh yeah. I mean, we had a lot of cannabis songs back then.
And I especially miss Nirvana.
I miss Jay and Silent Bob.
I wasn't ever really a big fan of Jay and Silent Bob.
Well, it's an interesting story as far as those two go.
Yeah.
The only work that I sort of enjoyed that they were in was well, I mean, I really enjoyed the work, but it was
Dogma?
Dogma. Yes, thank you.
Dogma was great.
Dogma was very good.
I loved Dogma.
And Carlin gave a stellar performance.
Yeah. Dogma, wasn't that sort of a parody of another movie? Or a couple of movies?
Well, I'm not sure if it was a parody of a couple of movies, but it was a parody of Catholicism.
Good God, that HP. Level 2, stronger than my fucking sergeants.
So, can you do me a favor and tell me if... Well, once you get all the tokens up.
I'm trying to, I guess... Saul and Ikrik will be in here. Saul, Ikrik... Tegwin's going to be... I don't know where Tegwin is. Tegwin's outside, and Sifu is stealing food over here.
Right, stealing food.
Oh, you're right. It doesn't keep the settings, does it? That is... Oh, because it doesn't have a... So, now Tegwin is the only one with an actual token, as compared to a... portrait. And that is why it's keeping for Tegwin, but not for anyone else.
After you get all the stats set, at that point you have to lock the token to the bio. Otherwise, when you redrag it on, you'll lose those.
Here,
like, see the second one?
Well, I just
the
dragged...
second one has no stats.
Yeah, but when I just deleted yours and then redragged it out and it kept yours.
I just drug one out and it didn't. Let's try that a second time.
It might be because there's already a token representing that character.
Could be.
Let's try dragging out Tegwin again. Now that I've deleted your token.
Okay.
Nope, it just hates you. Alright, so we are...
But when you do it, it keeps it.
But where do I lock the token?
In the bio. In the bio for the avatar.
Yeah, I don't see
You
a
have
locked
to click
token.
on the avatar once you get it set. And then assign avatar to character or some... Let me pull up Roll20 on my campaign.
Yeah,
That
I
way
mean,
I
I've
can walk
already
you through
got everything set up for can be edited and controlled by.
Yeah, but Roll20's weird. Let me get mine launched over here and I can walk you through it.
And a thank you to everyone in the audience who is putting up with us waiting on everyone to show up for this game. Next week, everyone will be on time. I'll make sure of it. Red. I don't even know where... Jeez.
Someone drew a martini in my dungeon. I think I know who the guilty party is.
Was it the person who was just giggling?
I think so.
Alright, well, I'm going to throw up...
So, it's under bio and info, you hit edit, and there'll be a default token under the avatar.
Yeah, and even with that being the case, I mean, yours is set, and it's not locking.
Well, first get the token out.
Your token's already set.
But it's not pulling up the stats when it gets drugged back in.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
For some reason, my is running like molasses.
Yeah, it's running pretty slow
Second
over here,
one.
too.
Control F5. Try this again.
Where's that name? Tegwin. Show nameplate. Controlled by, determined by character settings. Save changes.
Okay, and now you you click on the token, and then over in the character library, click on the character, go under bio and info, edit. If there's already a token set for default token, remove it, and then use selected token as the default token. It's optional, but it saves time on setup later.
I see what's going on. It's just stupid. You have to have the token completely configured before you Ugh. How stupid is that? Alright, save changes. Settings. No, wrong one. Not settings. I need Tagwin. Edit.
Too bad he's got bunny ears. I like his hair.
Bunny ears.
Where is red?
I haven't had a handsome kobold.
And now it has slowed down to shit for me again. Possibly reloaded. Oh, right, no, it just won't let me reload. God, I hate Roll20. Oh well, once we get to this point, once we get to the point where we can actually do things, by that time Red might be done with what she's doing and might...
So it's not just me, the whole site's functioning at the speed of...
Yeah, the speed of shit.
Redwood procreation.
I am so sorry, audience. I wanted to make sure everyone was here before we got started this round because it is the first session and there's a lot of setup to still get... Well, not setup per se, but like backstory and interaction to get everything bootstrapped. And now Roll20 is being slower than molasses. Quite literally, holy crap, come on. And I am sweating already, even though my fan is on above me. If I turn on any more fans, you won't be able to hear me over the sound of fans, because my voice is that fucking soft.
Speak louder, friend.
I don't speak loud.
Swallow your microphone, friend.
Have you seen my microphone? It's a giant sphere. I cannot fit
talented.
Oh, that is not a talent I have. I don't know if you've heard, but my door swings the other way.
Now, what are you thinking? I was just thinking very talented at eating very large sandwiches. What the fuck?
I'm not the orc. Oh, come on, Roll20. Now Roll20 doesn't even want to fucking load. Please have crashed so I can have the excuse to say fuck it and go use RP tools.
But then we'd have to redo the character sheets.
Okay, now it's loading. Thank fuck. We wouldn't have to redo the character sheets. We can just use... I can just fuck around with making the, Okay, here's Tegwin. It's got the label on it. It's... No. God damn it, I hit the wrong button again. Tegwin's character sheets. Wait, why isn't your HP showing up?
Now that I'm not sure on.
Because I totally set HP. Save changes. You're dead. Why did that happen?
Because she came into the game dead.
Yeah, well, yeah, true. Edit. Default token remove.
The
yes.
Inquisition done found me. It's over.
You selected
Run
token.
for your lives,
Save.
friends.
Okay. I finally figured out how I'm going to spend my mental focus points.
Now let's see if this works.
I'm
Yes,
going to make
it
a
sort of works, except your HP is somehow fucked. Don't worry, we'll use the character sheet and not the overlay for now. Now to do this with absolutely everyone else. Alright, so settings. Sol, show nameplate. HP. I mean, we're waiting on red anyways, so it's not like it's that big of a problem.
I'm placing 2 of my mental focus points on conjuration, 1 on illusion, and 1 on transmutation.
Show nameplate. HP. Save changes. Open character sheets. Edit. Use selected token. Save changes. Go away. Come down here to the... Oh, I don't have the cat laid out yet. Yeah, I'm gonna be a total racist, by the way. I'm going to refer to y'all by, like, a demonization of your race. The cat, the skeleton, the orc, the kobolds.
Kobold lives matter.
Undead lives matter, but I won't carry a sign. We get killed, my people are killed for that sort of thing.
You're already
one
dead.
of your buddies gets drunk one night and eats some guy's brain, and everyone won't shut up about it.
That's racist.
I know, it happened back in the 50s. Bill said he was sorry. But no, George had to go and tell everyone about it.
That's why you got the River of Georgia.
Yeah, it's a Romero guy.
How did
It's
your
all his
HP
fault.
break?
Did you try typing plus the HP when you click in the bar?
I'm trying to get it to take it directly from the character sheet.
Well, what I'm saying
Oh,
is...
that's why. No, that didn't fix it. I swear it just ruined everyone's HP except for the orcs.
Orc lives matter.
Orc lives do matter.
I wonder how that would play out. Waterdeep, the social justice edition.
Oh dear. Oh my.
Okay, I just
I
gotta
don't think...
reset everyone's health in the character sheets.
That would be a shitstorm.
I don't know I'd be able to even play that. I don't know how to, I don't know how to be a demanding
Shitstorm.
asshole.
That gave me an idea for a new spell.
Oh dear.
I'm going to make a summoning spell that summons water from the sewers under Waterdeep.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Wouldn't that have been perfect for if it wasn't for the big huge axe and the ow rabbit ears?
I still think we need to get ourselves a chicken wand.
It would not be a bad decision. A wand
Well,
of
I could
chicken.
probably make one, but
The thing is, it doesn't summon a chicken, it creates a chicken. That's key.
Hiya.
There we go.
Hello.
Hello, Red. Awesome.
Sorry for getting late, but real life shit.
No, completely understand. We've just been
Hey,
shooting the
Red.
shit and making sure everything's prepared.
I have a question.
Hmm?
Will you tell us about Bullet?
Oh god.
I don't think she'll get the
Please don't-
reference
please don't.
offhand.
Team Fortress 2, heavy weapons guy.
Yeah, I didn't play that.
Some
Okay.
people think they can outsmart me. Maybe. But I've not met a person who can outsmart Bullet.
Yes.
And your accent would do it perfect.
Oh, you sound exhausted, Red. You doing well?
Good enough.
Well,
Yeah.
good. Let us get you into the Roll20 page. I can find that link again, because I've been copying and pasting everything, and...
Oh crap. I
Jump.
never put in my armor.
Alright,
At least-
so... There you go, Red.
Armor? You should just remove your internal organs like I did.
Well,
Who needs
I
a
decided,
constitution score?
I decided to not go with the parade armor because if I did, the parade armor wouldn't match. Like, Seth wouldn't have arrived in Waterdeep with the correct parade armor. So...
Yeah,
that's like showing up to that's like showing up in Manchester with an Arsenal
Right.
jersey.
Or in Glasgow without a knife.
Yeah, no kidding. In Glasgow without a bag of heroin.
I have
Alright.
only heard stories.
Now, Tegwin, you're not inside right now. I don't know why I put you inside. And technically... Okay, well... We're all here, so I can actually get started. I'm gonna reread the introduction, just, you know... Because I was really happy with what I wrote, so I'm gonna reread it. It is the 1379th year following the Dale Reckoning, the year of lost wisdom in Faerun. And Waterdeep, the city of splendors, has grown tremendously in light of the great stone portals erected 9 years prior, granting connection between the trade hub and the far corners of the realms. Trade is abundant throughout the city, with the guard and watch turning a blind eye to the portal travelers who set up along the sides of every road with their wares. Rumors abound about the last open lord of Waterdeep, Piergaron of the Paladinson, who has not been seen in years. Some say he returned to wearing the mask and hiding amongst the citizens, while others declare him dead. But with an open lord or not, Waterdeep's masked lords still maintain as much control as they can through their council, which is to say, not nearly as much control as is held by the guilds whose money and influence are seen as the real government when it comes to day-to-day matters. The city guard and city watch have grown lax in recent years, without a figurehead acting as their commander-in-chief, and more it is the private guards, owned by the guild masters, who enforce their own perspective of the law in the City of Splendors. And with no open lord to sit on the throne of the castle of Waterdeep, threats both without and within began to bolster themselves. Of these, the most successful was among the Scriveners, Scribes, and Clerks Guild, who, no longer bound by the Lord's court, grew in power and wealth as they arbitrated disagreements, defended those caught up by the city guard, and became, in separate parts, the judges, juries, and funders of the executioners within Waterdeep. With a strong alliance between their guild and the Jewelers' Guild, many considered the time of lords to be over, replaced with a time of lawyers and law enforced by these two guilds and the guilds in their good graces. And it is in the humble offices of one kobold, who strives to make his place as a lawyer within Waterdeep, that our story starts. This kobold is about to have a very curious patron approach him with work, one whose past remains a mystery, and future is tied to the future of Waterdeep itself. And that is where we begin. Saul and Iklik are in Saul's office, which is shown here on the map. Tegwin and Sifu, you can be wherever you would like, I suppose. I believe you mentioned that you wanted the cat to be spying in some variety.
Yes, Ikrik has brought me inside, and I was listening in my normal form.
Then I will stick you on a table.
Alright.
Alright, so yeah, the three of you are inside the offices of Saul, and Kobold. Unless there's a better name that you have for your office, Adakeen. Adakeen.
Saul and Tan.
Saul and Tan, that works.
Yeah, Tan is my
And-
partner.
Awesome.
And sometimes the only solution to a problem is to have Tan solve it.
It's been a normal day in with your offices, many drunks.
I mean, you can have violent arguments, and sometimes you can just use the argument of violence.
Exactly.
There have been many drunks who have come into your offices today from the gambling house next door, trying to make claims, and given your knowledge of the gambling house, you often have to tell them, well, there's just nothing I can do. If you lost money, you lost money. But someone of a much different disposition enters your door, and she clearly looks to be of great wealth. As she walks in, you can see that she carries herself with the distinguishment of a noble, and yes, it kind of looks like her. It kind of looks like her token is sitting down. Let's just ignore that fact. However, she also has the scars, has a few scars on her face of a battled warrior. So her disposition isn't the easiest to read. And she... Oh, go ahead.
I quickly move behind Ikrik so I can turn around, show back behind Ikrik, and sort of quickly comb my hair and something like that to look at my best. Fix my suit and.
Shouldn't I
Tightens his tie.
in the back room?
I'm sorry.
I don't have time for that. But Ikrik is big, so.
No, I mean I act as the scribe a lot.
Oh, that's right. Did you decide that you were going to be,
I'm Saul's scribe.
In which case, go ahead and stick yourself wherever in the inside the building.
Yeah.
That one looks good. There's a nice desk there, book.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that is fine.
She walks up to the bar that serves as your front desk and, not finding a bell, just knocks on the counter. Hello, is the proprietor available? You're the proprietor, Artakeen.
I move over to the bar with a big smile. Slightly sleazy because I am that type of guy, and says, "Yes, I am Saul, and this is my partner Tan." I will point at the orc. What can we do for you?
Pleasure to meet you. I've come looking for work, specifically the assistance of an attorney. There are a number of jobs I need done. She nods very dismissively towards the orc. You can tell by her oh, sorry, go ahead.
Says in between chewing her sandwich.
You can tell that she's not the biggest fan of orcs. By the way, she kind of rolls her eyes and returns her eyes to the kobolds, yet another race she doesn't appear to have much respect for.
Seth just lazily hops down from the table that he's on and then lazily hops onto the bar and just kind of curls up on the corner there.
I try to give Ikrik a look like this is important, and then I look back at the woman. So, what is this work you wish to have me resolve for you?
Unfortunately, it's of a very discreet nature, which is why I'm looking for someone a little lower in the ranks of the Scriveners Guild, or disconnected from the Scriveners Guild altogether. Now, are you registered?
Yes, I am registered. It's the only way to actually get a job in this town. You need to be registered.
Well, I guess that will have to do.
And if you... I suggest you give me a copper now.
You're gonna have to roll for that one. Shit, what skill would that be offhand?
Diplomacy?
Yes. Wait, diplomacy or...
Is there persuasion in this?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
There's no persuasion.
No, it's diplomacy or bluff, but in this case it's diplomacy.
Yeah, it would be diplomacy. Well, shit. She looks at you and she sighs very disgustedly and pulls out a moon from her pocket, a moon being the equivalent of a silver, and sets it on the table and says, "You better put this to good use, little one," sliding it over to you. Because at this point... Oh, go ahead.
Excellent. Now that you paid me, I will keep all your secrets to the grave, because as a lawyer, I am not your lawyer because you paid me.
She nods agreeably with not quite a smile on her face, and continues. The matter at hand is I need to deliver messages to a number of important people throughout the area. Primarily, I need to get a hold of the mayor of Red Larch. Now, it appears you have a strong adventurer at your side. Does this seem like work you'd be willing to do, securing my paperwork and maintaining its secrecy?
Of course.
Airkirk can't read anyway, so...
That's not true, at 13.
That's true, I keep forgetting.
What was the name of that mayor again?
He could don't care to read mostly.
The mayor is... Shit, let me pull up my notes. The mayor of Red Larch is, Mondvier. I'm not sure about the last name, but Mondvier. His family are well-known poultry salesmen.
Chickens!
And, but yes, it is of utmost importance. It is of utmost importance that you deliver this letter to him, and then clear the path from Red Larch back to Waterdeep of any highwaymen, because he will be coming to visit me shortly afterwards. Are you willing to do this?
What was it about the highwayman you wanted me to do?
I need a clear path for the man to enter the city, and there have been a number of criminals who have been robbing individuals on the road between Red Larch and Waterdeep, and it would be in, honestly, both our best interests if no one were to waylay this man before he arrived in the city.
Ikrik looks at the woman and says, "I can clean, but for a good price."
You will be paid well, Orc. However, not entirely up front. Now, is this the only adventurer you have at your disposal? I'm used to attorneys having a little bit better in the way of connections.
Seth just sits there and yawns.
I got connections, all right. It's just it's expensive to keeping them around all the time.
I can cover your expenses for this trip. You need not worry. That 1 silver is but the beginning. And should you accomplish this, there will be far more and much greater riches. Not only riches, but also fame to be achieved. Within time, of course.
Of course. I imagine the safest way to get the Manbear here to Waterdeep would be for me to arrange an escort, but I think also a distraction will be needed. I assume that there's other players at hand.
Let us just say that there are a number of players at hand in and outside of Waterdeep, and I want none of them laying a hand on my good friend.
Exactly. So that means that is it safe to say that it's likely that at least one or two of these players are aware that you want Manveer to arrive in Waterdeep?
Should they see him leaving the city, I have no doubt they would have interest in waylaying him, whether or not they know his intentions. You're gonna have to roll, what is it? It's, is it sense motive if you want to learn more. She's being quite cagey. And of course the cat and Ikrik could roll it as well if they'd like.
Alright.
So, which one is it?
If you open up your character sheet and go over to skills, you can click on the little dice icon next to sense motive.
Attributes and abilities.
I guess Seth is only half listening in his sleepified state.
On the skills tab, it's toward the bottom, sense motive.
Oh,
And I, of course, am busy in the back working on a skill check 20 document. Pretty.
Ikrik can tell that the woman is lying. That she actually knows quite well that there are people who wish to stand in her way at the moment. Although, you're merely sensing motive. If you'd like to challenge her on that point, you're free to do so.
Articulated Ikrik.
Would actually the intimidate motive be good for this one?
I'm going to have to give you... I'm gonna have to give you a bit of a GM's advice with this one. This is not a character you want to attempt to intimidate.
If it were me, I'd probably growl, "There's more that you're not saying," or something like that.
Well, you never know. You could find it amusing or endearing.
Seth can hiss.
Yeah.
But I doubt it.
Seth could hiss, but that wouldn't convey her to... Besides, Seth only rolled a 12. He has no idea what her motive is.
Not to mention, this woman has no idea. By the way, y'all don't even know the woman's name yet. No one's asked.
In fact, nobody has any idea that Seth is just a cat.
Exactly. That's part of it. Even if Seth growled.
I wouldn't be surprised if Soul would just eventually ask, "And why did you, by the way, bring this pet here?"
No, Saul doesn't ask that because you keep bringing pets here.
You're like 4 feet taller than Seth. I don't think Seth asks many questions like that. You just kind of get to do what you want.
Yeah. And sometimes you do stuff that I want because that is
That's how
money and
business
sandwiches.
works.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, maybe sensing this, Ikrik might just go, "Okay, lady have name herself then?"
Oh, forgive me. My name is Ciara Arzan. And she appears to look away for a moment when she says it.
Oh, okay, that is not a real name.
Am I hearing anything from my little cubby?
I highly doubt the walls are that thick. You can probably hear everything.
Alright, I'll make a knowledge nobility roll.
Alright, let me see it. You have never heard of that name, and you are not sure whether Arzan is a proper noble's name or not.
Not with a roll like that.
Nope. Anyway,
Especially nobility can easily change in 2,000 years.
Sifu has no idea of any of the nobility noble names around here, it looks like.
Just a cat with a mission of leisure.
Okay, so how much
Maybe even
are
I'll
you
just
prepared
roll
to
it
give me
myself, just for the shits and giggles.
Why else does an orc do anything?
You also... You wouldn't be able to tell an Arzan from a Paladinson in this case.
I really wouldn't. Though, you know what? Ironically, I might by smelling what food they smell of.
Oh, she smells... Well, okay, well, actually, give me a, Is there a perception check if you want to try that?
That would actually be interesting. Seth has an amazing sense of smell as well.
She hasn't eaten today. Or, as far as you can tell, she hasn't eaten today. Also, her farts smell of roses. Seth! Oh, that's interesting. Holy shit, Saul. What the fuck?
Wow.
Okay. So, this is for Seth and Saul. Okay, I'll do them one at a time, actually. Seth, you can smell hints of, oh shit, what is the whale grease that's used in perfume that's extremely expensive?
Musk, no, Pujol.
Starts with an A, not alabaster, but... Anyway, the perfume that she's wearing is extremely pungent in a manner that describes its sheer value. It's clear that she spent a number of gold on this perfume. And Saul, you are very much aware that the name she's given you is a lie, that there is no Arzan family within Waterdeep, or even in Daggerford or Neverwinter.
Yeah, but there is a Lord Baggins in Neverwinter.
Yes. Not only that, something about the name bothers you. You might wish to investigate the name further, but you would have to essentially make guesses on the nature of where the name came from and why at that point. However, she does not seem like the kind of person you want to question, because she's currently pulling out a purse that is glimmering with suns, with a lot of gold.
Ekirk looks at it. Thanks to us.
Suns.
Shiny roast beef. Food.
Really fast.
Step from my cubby, book in hand, and set a parchment on this table.
Just a note to the GM. I just want you to be aware. I'm sure you were aware, but I do have the scent ability, so I can detect smells within 30 feet. If it's upwind, within 60 feet. If it's really strong, double that, and if it's overpowering, triple that.
Well, it's not an overpowering scent, but this perfume is it's very identifiable as a valuable and expensive perfume. It has hints of different it has different floral hints to it. However, the I wish I could remember that word. I bet someone in the audience has said it.
Ambergris?
Nope. Thank you, ambergris. Yes, the scent of ambergris is extremely pungent, and it's clear that this has a very strong base.
It smells like fish.
Whale stomach, yeah.
Well, Saul eagerly grabs
salted,
Of course.
Well, Saul eagerly grabs the bag and holds it up to sort of weigh it, so he gets a approximate idea of how much.
It's 16 gold that she's offering you for this job, for safe passage, or for safe passage of her message, and she recites this to you, of course. 16 gold now and 14 gold afterwards for safe passage of her message, which should remain sealed, and she enunciates this, should remain sealed until it reaches the hands of God, his name is irritating. Mondiver, thank you, I'm sorry. she wants you to deliver it to Mondevir's hands yourself, not have any intermediary take a hold of it, and then assure his safe return, whether by clearing she wants you to clear the road of highwaymen, which can be done on the route there, the route back. And highwayman just being a general term. She notices
Master Saul, your appointment book is empty for the next 10 days.
She takes a keen eye at Tegwin and tilts her head with a soft smile. That's quite a young worker you have for you doing the books.
Yeah, you know, she has a debt to pay.
Don't we all?
She seems herdless. She works cheap. Does not eat out of pantry much.
Tegwin, I need you to prepare a receipt.
Out of curiosity,
Of course.
is she charmed, or is she actually wearing the bandages?
She's wearing
I
bandages at
need
the
you,
moment,
Tegwin,
but
to
also
prepare a
completely
receipt
good
a shot.
And you can tell a hint of some knowingness in the noble's voice. She's not saying this
I
for
hear
no reason.
absolutely nothing.
I think that's good enough.
Yeah, your handwriting is beautiful, and she is quite impressed by the professionality. I'm
so
very glad
she-
I came here. The last few I went to were of much lower standards. Now, is this your entire crew?
My regular crew, yes, but as I said, I got contacts in many layers, both higher and lower. And as the need arises, I will reach out for the right people for the job. As I said, it's expensive to keep them all around all the time, but...
Seth yawns rather visibly, like a cat yawn, and then he stands up and just kind of arches his back a little bit, and then just, you know, does the low front butt in the air type stretch, and just stares at her.
She actually reaches over to pet the cat.
He leans into the hand.
I look over at this Sarin and I try and explain to her that I will need at least 5-6 coins more for expenses.
He raises his eyebrow.
I
Lady,
want to...
you think people who do jobs like this hang around? No, they look for more shinies. Expenses.
Yes, of course. Now, Arakeen,
I'm going to
I need
do an
you to
appraisal
roll...
on her outfit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have no idea. Just give her a once-over, see what she's wearing, the general wealth value, but yeah, failure.
The dyes
wait.
alone look very valuable, but you couldn't determine the actual wealth based on what she's wearing.
Can I use my craft jeweler for jewelry?
You can use that bonus toward an appraise check, yeah.
Do I make a second appraise check?
Just add the bonus to your, just add the bonus to your current.
Then that would be 13 for the jewelry.
Can I actually use the knowledge nature check to, for example, identify any stones she's wearing on her clothing?
I think that would be a different knowledge check.
I'm not really sure that would be a knowledge check.
It's not a knowledge check. That would be an appraisal check.
Yeah.
As for Tegwin...
I'm new to this. I'm gonna suck at it.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Tegwin, you can tell that the dyes she's using use a ground flower that is not native to the area. She has a small necklace with a glimmering pendant on it, and the glimmer of the pendant catches your eye. However, you can't really tell much other than the sheer value of the diamond that is sitting at its that is hanging from it, and that necklace alone costs about 100 gold.
I'll make a note of it for later. No point in bringing that up in the middle of a discussion.
Seth jumps down and just kind of walks around her, and I'm going to roll a perception check, and then kind of rubs up against her leg.
Well, you have quite a sweet cat here.
Seth, cute kitty, right?
Yeah, yeah.
15.
It's my partner Tan's cat.
Cute kitty.
Now, what exactly are you trying to perceive here?
You know, just because he's basically getting extremely close and just rubbing, so anything from like a low perspective that might be kind of hidden under layers or anything like that.
Well, congratulations. You have found a bejeweled dagger tied to the inside of her thigh.
Ooh. And I get a show.
Yeah, pretty much. You can also tell she's not a trap.
That's very nice. It's a very nice.
With that, she turns on her heels and says, I expect your results within the next 3 days, and begins walking out the door. As she gets... Oh, yes?
Wait, I would need a few more coins for expenses if you really want this to go the way you hope for.
Do you really expect me to give you more than 16 gold on the first job? 16 is 6 more than I would normally want to give anyone on first meeting. You're going to have to roll a diplomacy check.
Do you really expect anyone at the bar to first serve you ahead of line, even if you're first-time patron, unless you pay extra? I eat at bars a lot.
Okay, make your intimidate check, Fred.
Friend will cost his job at this point.
I don't know. I did a good diplomacy.
I was going to say that intimidate, is that with strength or is that with charisma? Because that would have been a charisma check.
Let's see. +4, I think that's actually coming out of her charisma.
No, it literally is. It's out of
Yes.
court.
Wow.
So,
Pretty
yeah.
good.
Now here's the problem. Neither of you are able to convince her. She just sits stone-faced at your protestations and says, I could always give you back this receipt and request my money back. And if you'd like to cause a problem, I have contacts of my own as well.
I never cause problem for the client. I will do my best. That's the one thing Saul got. He never betrays his clients. Never.
She again turns on her heels, using the side of her foot. Oh, yeah.
While all of this has been going on, is there any chance I could get away with casting a detect magic spell while my back is to her?
I think you should.
And then turning around to...
Do it at -1.
I was going to say roll a sleight of hand check.
Too far away.
A stealth check to stealthily cast the spell without giving too much away? I mean, my back is to her.
Well, if her back is turned, detect magic is still going to have the same effect.
Alright, what do I roll?
If you have detect magic...
Yes, I do.
Shit, 1 second.
Spellcraft?
I'm looking it up right quick. Oh, no, you have to spend a, well, I guess you don't have to spend it because it's a cantrip.
Yes.
So,
But while it's in effect, I'd like to try some type of spellcraft or knowledge arcana to see if I can glean anything from her magic items.
You can make a knowledge arcana check to determine the magic involved. Because yes, you can... Alright. You get a major headache. There is quite a lot of magic swirling around this woman of many different schools.
Oh boy.
She is quite inundated with several magics, and it's very difficult to determine which one is coming from what source. However, they're all clearly embracing her.
Then I'm going to instantly end the spell as soon as it's pretty much obvious that she knows it was cast.
That's probably a good idea.
Just a quick little blip, like just something happened. Don't know. Must have been some wild magic.
As she's leaving, you can hear her groan in disgust as she looks out the door, commenting, "Oh, good heavens. These homeless are just piling up. These vagabonds are in every alley on it and on every corner, aren't they?" And with that, she walks off and disappears.
I look over to Ikrik and
Pants
say,
monkey in silks.
I look over to Ikrik. Hurry, I want you to go outside, and watch who is watching this woman as she leaves. Quickly, love.
Gets up quickly and goes, "I'm only doing this because I know it's sensible, even though you can swirl around much faster and unnoticed than I can.
Yeah.
If you thought I'm stupid, I am, but not that stupid." Walks out and slams the door behind.
Okay, and then I look over to Tegven. I want you now to follow Ikrik and watch who is watching Ikrik. I need to know how many people are watching us.
18 on the stealth check.
Yeah, wait, Ikrik, what is your...
Seth jumps down actually and follows Ikrik, since he's Ikrik's cat.
So are the three of you going outside then?
It seems that way.
Okay,
I mean,
directly
I'm not sure.
outside the door, you are going to come across, and I don't have a token set up for this. Sitting right beneath the window, or one of the windows of the building, is a decrepit man, and as Ikrik comes out, he looks up at you. His clothes are very tattered, he looks very exhausted, but despite his rather poverty-stricken appearance, his skin seems to glisten in sunlight, almost in contradiction to his perverted status. This trait seems to stand out about him. He has very bold red eyes, and he looks up at you and says, "Alms for the poor, alms for the poor."
First, I'm going to do a perception
Begrudgingly,
check. 23.
Ikrik actually throws out 2 coppers and says, judging his appearance, Yes, I know how hangover feels."
Wow.
His eyes light up brightly, and he thanks you with all his might. Thank you, ma'am. And he stands up and runs off. Wait, that's not the right button.
But before she gave him the money, Seth did a perception check of the dude. I rolled a 23.
If only you had rolled 1 point higher.
Oh, man.
What you can tell, though, is that this individual has either draconic, Azamar, or tiefling blood, but is certainly of mixed blood.
Honestly, I see glistening skin. I judge that as sweat and red eyes. That quick.
Knowledge.
Hangover.
Have I noticed this guy amongst the other poor when I've gone out to deliver bread?
No, in fact, this individual, if you've ever noticed him, you haven't seen him out with the other homeless. He tends to keep to himself, if you've ever noticed him.
I will make a mental note of that as well. One more thing to report.
He also would often smell of alcohol when you saw him.
Mm.
Alright, so we have a story, my friends. If you guys can just give me 1 minute, I need to go use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
In the meanwhile, Ikrik leans down as if beckoning the cat to jump on its shoulder. "Come, kitty."
Seth jumps up.
Oh, and by the way, Tegwin, no one's going to notice you based on the stats that are that everyone's sitting at.
You need to watch it, Kitty. Drunks are very desperate, especially hungover. They will try to sell you off as a raccoon fur if they're that desperate enough. Stick here, Kitty.
He does have very beautiful fur. He just goes.
Ikrik tries to, as delicately as she can, pet Kitty with finger.
He just raises his chin to let you scratch under his chin. Did you, by the way, Red, did you see the picture I started of Ikrig?
I did, and I love it. I mean, it's so awesome.
Yeah. And I'm rather glad I got a big, flashy orc to flush out things with.
Well, she does provide quite the stealth bonus. No one's going to be paying attention to me.
Yeah, exactly. So you use her to see if there's anyone. Use her to flush out anyone that's watching the place, and then send in the scribe to figure out who is actually watching the place.
Also, in moments of desperation, because orcs actually have very good speed abilities, you're just gonna be like, okay, skeleton underhand. Skeleton grab on back. You under my armpit, and you change into cat and stick on my shoulder. Charge it!
You know, I'm pretty sure if I got a leg lock around your neck, not like it would hurt you too much having 15 pounds on your neck.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I could fire off magic missiles. I'll be a turret on your back.
I'm just
Pew 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 pew.
I'm just picturing a linebacker.
I mean, that's literally what she is.
with Saul as the pigskin.
Linebacker? She's the whole brute squad. Now get out of here, you, or I'll call the brute squad. I am the brute squad.
No, this is
you are
like
the brute squad.
going for the winning point at the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously, considered weird, but I do intelligent work every day. I like to play stupid characters.
It can be quite diverting.
Yeah.
This guy self, is that illusion?
No, well, wait, disguise self? That's a spell? Yeah, it's an illusion.
Disguise
spell.
self is an illusion. Alter self is physical.
Okay.
Isn't disguise self the one where you can make yourself look different, like, but no different than like a foot taller or a foot shorter?
Disguise self and alter self basically have the same outward effect, but if you're touched under the effects of a disguise self, they get a will save.
Exactly.
Under alter self, you physically change.
Yeah, so
disguise self is really good when you go to a city into crowds to not be the person you are, but you know you're gonna avoid contact, like in walking to a street or something.
Right, because you'll still feel the same as you normally are, but you just look different.
Right. It's kind of like if we wanted to disguise the orc, I'd use an illusion spell to make her look like a crowd of drunks.
A crowd of drunks.
I'm just thinking
They'd
about
clear the street for her.
I'm just thinking about if I could use a disguise self on Tegven to make Tegven look like me from a distance.
Look like you?
I have a spell, so yes, I could do that.
Probably, and she's not that tall, so...
Disguise self can't be used on someone else.
No, but Tegven can use it on myself.
No, use it on me to make me look like him.
Well, Tegwin can cast disguise self to look like like Saul. Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, I made a mistake earlier. Tegwin, you're a Letty, so you're technically immune to what would be constitution-based impacts. So you didn't get a headache, which means you would probably be able to determine slightly more about the magic than I let off. There was an illusion spell, there was a transmutation spell, and it was still so very powerful that it would be rather confusing to work through all the details in such a quick time.
Well, I will report this all to Saul. Value of the necklace. The guy's not among the typical homeless we see and give bribes to for information. And that the woman was heavily influencing using transmutation and illusion magic.
Okay, and do you have any... So there was one spy outside. Was there more?
Not that I was able to see.
Oh, I'm gonna hate this. We are going to go gambling.
Okay, are you guys
Gambling?
You
all,
have fun with that.
are you guys
Well,
all
so-
heading
Now,
out front?
You are going to come with me. Here is the idea. We can guarantee that we are being kept under watch. So that means that I am going to prepare extra disguise. We're going to go gambling. We're going to get Ikrik to cause a scene, and then I'm going to disappear while you take my appearance, so they can then wander about a little so people follow you. When I get back here and change to Baggins, and then we leave for
Okay.
this guy we are looking for.
Also,
Couldn't I just
because I
disguise
was
myself
inspired,
now?
I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure, but I think orcs actually have some eyesight bonus or ability. So that
Dark
would mean
vision.
I'd be dark vision. Yeah, so that's different. But if she tried to disappear in a dark corner or something, I could see her going and playing with the shadows anyway, wouldn't I?
With a perception check, yes.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
However, for those of you outside, just after the beggar left view, I need the people who were outside for that moment to make a perception check.
Okay.
All right.
I saw a mouse.
I
all saw
saw
the mouse.
absolutely nothing.
We all
Well,
saw that same mouse.
well,
Pretty much.
well, that's embarrassing. Well, okay.
I have no perception skill.
I was occupied petting Kitty.
In which case, none of you notice the city guard turn the corner with great intent, searching around and looking up at the orc and saying, "You, what did you do to the people on the street?"
Orc looks down. Do I look like I've been doing anything except playing with Kitty?
Have you not
And I'm
noticed
gonna
the
roll
people
intimidate.
running in fear from this place?
No.
Just walked outside.
The guard looks very, very bothered. Hold on, let me give you guys a token.
So, so can Seth just walk around the court? Like, because he said there's people injured on the street and running away in fear.
They're not injured, but if you want
Oh.
to peek around the street and find out, go right ahead.
Yeah,
You don't
Seth
even need
jumps,
to roll for it.
Oh, okay. Seth just jumps off of Ikrig's shoulder and just walks past the guard nonchalantly and just looks out into the street.
The guard doesn't even pay attention to the cat. He is
Exactly.
watching the orc very securely. But there seems to be a terror going through the streets right now, almost as if a monster had passed through the streets before them and everyone was running for cover.
Go look around and actually notice surroundings. So what is happening anyway?
If there's anyone actually around that's still kind of running, can Seth just kind of run or walk over to any group of people and listen?
Yeah, sure. Give me a perception check.
All right. I hear words.
Someone mentions. This is actually beneficial. I mean, even if it wasn't a perfect roll, someone mentions feeling overcome with fear as something passed by. You can't quite hear what that something was. However, it's pretty obvious that it wouldn't have been Iklik because Iklik hasn't passed by yet.
Right.
So, you might want to go rescue your muscle.
The guard actually approaches. Have you been causing trouble, Orc?
Do I look like I've been doing anything except finishing sandwich and petting Kitty? I wanna roll intimidate.
Go right ahead.
As you crush your sandwich between your...
You do not intimidate this guard, despite his low rank and seemingly frail appearance. He approaches you. Don't try that shit with me, Orc. I'm protecting these citizens, and I won't be intimidated by your kind. You can tell he doesn't have much appreciation.
These citizens make my food! I wouldn't hurt them.
Now, do you guys intend on coming out to assist?
Yes, I'm going to storm out, look around in a slightly confused manner, lock eyes on the orc, and start dressing her down in front of the guard about how it's her duty to guard the door and not to step outside into the street and scare people and make a big, huge scene of it. Just yelling and shouting and shoving my gloved hand up into her face and hoping that she doesn't break my arm.
Alright, make a bluff check.
Just did. It came out as an 11.
That is just high enough because guard trustees are not very smart, thankfully. Yeah, the guard watches and says, "Keep your creature in order." Turns around and begins to walk away and returns to his...
Seth just walks in front of him as he's walking by, almost as if to trip him.
Give me a second.
Figure eight.
I'd love to make an acrobatics check for that.
I'd have to see.
Go right ahead.
24.
Holy
Oh,
shit!
shit.
Holy shit! So the guard, not paying attention, his foot taps you, and he realizes that he's about to trip, and then ends up throwing his halberd while trying to maintain his balance. He stumbles and runs into the wall of the inn next door, catches himself and looks around hoping no one notices. Hint, hint, you all noticed. Before returning to his journey. These are not excellent guards. They're mostly talk and a little bit of muscle.
Kirk laughs joyfully and then beckons Kitty. Come, Kitty, come.
As he walks away, Seth just sticks his tongue out a little bit and then trots over to Ikrik and deftly jumps onder her shoulder.
He rolled a 6, by the way.
Pets Kitty and says, "Good, Kitty, good."
Oh, that's beautiful. Alright, so the street is basically cleared. This is, I believe this is Snail Street? Let me double check the map just in case. This is... Yes, this is the part of Snail Street that curves and leads up to meet up with Waterdeep Way. So,
I'm just wandering back and forth, fretting about everything happening there, because I can't.
Technically,
go
you can't see anything. You are
He might be hearing from behind the window because he saw
Possibly.
shit is going.
Oh, absolutely.
Do we go back inside?
I will
that's up
try
to y'all.
to lead the orc back in if she's going to go with it.
Okay. Orc goes back with it.
Excellent.
Orc is only 14 after all.
So when they are all back inside, I assume they're like facing each other to talk. Seth just kind of walks around in his cat form and then transforms into his human form and leans against the bar.
Alright.
Ikrik
that
walks
happens-
into the bar saying first, well, so much for surveillance. And then sees the scene unfolding and said, well, what, Kite?
Saul grabs his staff and hovers a finger on the trigger switch on it, studying the cat.
He's just leaning against the bar, looking at his fingernails. And then all he says is, "Those people out there are scared of something."
Now, Tegwin already knows that you have a human form, yes?
Yes.
Alright.
I look over to Tegvan. Can we trust this creature?
I have known him for 2,000 years.
So, if he wanted to mess up my office, he would have done it.
Did you think every cat knew how to use a chamber pot?
I thought that was Ikrik.
Pretty small for it. Those are pretty small for an orc shit.
So?
At that comment, Ikrik goes like,
Okay. Okay. Well, the way I see it is, how far is it to this major? Is it Waterdeep or outside Waterdeep?
It's outside
So
Waterdeep. It's about a day's journey from Waterdeep to Red Larch.
Okay, we had 4 issues that we need to resolve. 1, I am likely to get tailed if I leave this place, so we need to show them off scent.
Alright, prepare your disguise. I'll become you and slip out into the crowd, get lost in a side street, and come back.
Actually, I think it's better that we all go to the gambling house and be visible about it, and then we switch places, you and me. Take
And
this.
if I'm you arguing, haggling the price of carpets, it does the same.
You'd have to go
Okay,
all the
but-
way up to market to haggle carpets.
Seth clears his throat and looks at the group. He says, "Is no one concerned that everyone was running away in fear just a moment ago?"
Oh, I am concerned. That is why we need to act now, because there's a lot of gold that was just spent on this thing.
and right after we did get that,
Exactly.
we ran away.
So, me and a kitten, I will prepare my disguise, and me and a kitten, we will head for the gate towards the place we are. Yeah, and you, Ikrik, you go with Tegven. Tegven, you disguise as me and do something to try and catch here and meet me at the gate.
I am
Alright,
not responsible for any damages to your reputation.
me neither.
High five the orc.
I'm surprised how well everyone took Seth just turning into a human.
Well, it's nothing.
I still think Seth Kitty only sorcery about.
Well, you're right, he is a cat.
A cat who
Definitely
happens to
is a
turn
cat.
human.
Hmm.
Pretty much.
He's a werehuman.
Okay, I'm going to disguise myself as a drunk.
Alright,
Good
give,
choice.
is that a cantrip or a level 1 spell?
I think he's using the actual disguise ability.
Good choice. You can nag people on street for change. You'll only make it more natural.
Your disguise is only going to last about 20 minutes. Oh wait, no, that's disguise self-spell.
I'm using disguise, the skill.
Yeah, okay, yes. Skill disguise, 27. You are the best looking drunk. You are the best looking 4-foot tall drunk anyone has ever seen.
So where's the nearest place that I could make a scene?
The gambling house is actually right next door. This is the Golden Horn is the larger building to the west.
I
Perfect.
suggest Ikrik should play checkers or something.
Well, Tekben is going to have a bonus impersonating me because we are obviously known each other long enough.
So the to the
Come,
right is
Rick.
the inn,
Let us have fun.
Yes, the inn
and
is...
the left
Yeah.
is the gambling house. Okay.
Okay, weird little old girl.
Wiggle my nose, and I'm a kobold.
You don't have a nose. You have wrappings.
Then I will send my wrappings flying about and turn into a kobold. Maybe I'll do a little dance, sing I'm a little teacup. And poof, I'm a kobold.
Seth looks disapprovingly. Those took me forever to wrap.
They're still here. Reach in, pull out a bandage, rewrap it.
This is kind of funny because I'm imagining a magical girl transformation, except at the end you're a kobold.
I'm actually imagining a fucking Sailor Moon transformation.
Exactly. Except instead of getting prettier, you somehow get uglier because you're a kobold.
Yeah. Well,
Use prestidigitation to summon a wind that blows my long flowing hair.
I'm going to
Whoosh.
say
Whoosh.
my character is going to siggle it, and then he's going to get one of his wine bottles, the few wine bottles he have, splash a little on him, and then he's going to just shangle back and forth outside towards the gate, taking a sip from the bottle.
Ikrik
You know the
says
city's enormous,
cordially,
right?
I'm
You
ordering
wish to,
Ikrik.
if you oh, I just wanted to comment on his appearance.
I'm ordering Ikrik to grab Saul, and we're going to make a scene of throwing the drunk that was in our back room somehow out.
That's actually a good way to go about it.
Yeah, it is.
By the way, Seth just kind of shrugs and turns back into his regular form.
Since no one seems to care that most of the street has been cleared by some mysterious fear.
Yes, but someone will spot it. And that's the important thing.
Nobody cares, so he's like, alright, I'll just
Ikrik's perception on this: city sees problems all time, food gets back anyway. Don't care.
Alright, so, yeah. I guess you guys are making a scene. Now, the way the city's laid out, there would be people who have set their houses up in the back area as well. The south of you is the road, but there's a gap between between all the buildings. Here, let me show you guys the map of the general area. So you see where it's marked Saul's office up in the northeast corner?
Yes.
There's like a gap behind. You would have women doing laundry back there because there are houses next to inns, next to other offices, and the like. You would have children playing back there.
Saul's office is on that front street.
Saul's office, is right there. The T3 that is marked on the map is the gambling house, the Golden Horn.
Okay.
And the street in front of it is Snail's Way.
Okay.
And just for reference, you guys are like a good 400 meters from the gate where you guys are. This is like the southern end of town, so if
That's not far away.
it's not far, but it's not a short distance either. Regardless, I presume you guys are going to now make a scene.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Alright, go right ahead. Tell me about this scene.
So, here's the plan. We go into the gambling house. I make a couple of rolls, slip into the back, turn myself into a bar wench, and slip out.
How many spells do you have a day right now? 'Cause
I can cast 4 first level spells per day.
Alright, just making sure.
So my plan is to go in, make an appearance, get everyone's attention, claim I'm not feeling well, step into the back, and then slip out the back as a laundress or something.
Okay.
Seth speaks aloud in his cat form. What's our goal again?
Meanwhile, Ekrik is escorting Saul to the gate by the scruff of his neck.
Are we trying
To
to
throw
leave
the
town?
drunk out of the city.
Do you guys really want to leave town without doing preparations?
I'm already prepared.
Okay.
I am prepared as well.
You say so.
What's preparations?
Shopping,
I have no
mostly.
needs for such things.
I mean, you
Yeah,
guys
I'm already
got 16
carrying
gold in
everything.
your pocket. Well, one of you
Yeah,
has 16 gold.
And I still have 100, well, a little bit less than 180, but...
You are such a wealthy cat.
Where does he hide it all?
That is
It's part
actually
of
a
the
very good
transformation
question.
power.
In the litter box, I see.
Yeah, I was gonna say he buries it.
Gold in the box.
I'm just, you know what I'm imagining is a cat just prancing around with a bag of gold hanging from his mouth. Chink, 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 chink.
Go lay down, baby. Go lay down. It's okay.
Though that being said,
I know.
I do imagine he has part of his armor is the enchantment does have a gold pouch, a limited gold pouch that can be shrunk as well.
That's what I was presuming.
I mean, do we want to spend 16 gold on anything? Before we
Chances are, anything we'd need, we could get in the outskirts of the city where they're not going to be looking for us.
Sure.
Exactly.
Because Saul is in the back of the gambling house, being sick.
Alright,
so-
let's get some bluff
something-
rolls going.
Something that I never...
So I add the plus 10 bonus to it?
Plus 10 from where?
Disguise self. It's a plus 10 on the disguise check. Provided anyone wouldn't believe that he would go into a gambling house
Everyone's
probably end up
drunk.
getting sick.
No one is really
Paying
judging.
attention?
Yeah, no one's paying attention enough. They're more in tune, more into their games or their drinks to check. So we're not going to do that. However, your acting needs to be up to par, which means you need bluff checks.
And I suck at...
And I'm pretty sure I got a tab at that gambling house. Not big, but a little tab that I regularly pay out.
Huh, well, maybe that's enough.
That no,
Do I need to
That's-
roll a bluff check?
no. You're
Well,
a
you're a
cat.
cat.
Exactly. and I have such a high bluff.
Saul needs to give me a bluff check, though.
Bluffing that I am a
Oh,
drunk.
That you're a sick
Just-
drunkard. Yeah.
just out of curiosity, can I
Wow.
as we walk by, can I ask do I see any animals around?
In the very back of the building, there are a couple dogs. They're mostly just, keeping eye out for their owner.
I just meant like outside. Like, was there any like animals, rats, anything kind of outside? Any other cats, anything like that? I just wanted
So,
to.
not dogs. Unfortunately, when the fear overcame the street, the animals were just as affected as the people.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna actually ask the other animals about.
There would be a cat. There would be a resident cat at the inn who would have run back into the inn.
Okay. So to the right rather than the left.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna, instead of whatever they're doing over there, I'm actually going, because I'm kind of trying to sniff out other animals, so I'm gonna go actually over to the end to see if I can find the other cat.
Well, the gambling house always loves a good brawl. So when Tegwin draws attention to the scene, Honestly, Ikrik doesn't really need to make a bluff check because there's no actual bluffing involved with grabbing, throwing a drunkard, picking him up, and carrying him away. But the scene is made. Saul plays the perfect beleaguered drunk, and you guys make it. You guys are able to leave the area pretty much undetected. Well, not so much undetected as without anyone noticing Saul primarily leaving the area because of the disguise. As far as anyone would know, Saul is still inside of his offices.
In the back of the gambling hall.
Okay, wait. Now I'm confused as to the details. Put yourselves where you belong.
I was becoming Saul.
Wait, so you're getting thrown around? I'm confused now.
No. I disguised myself as Saul with disguised self. Slip into the gambling hall with Ikrik. Ikrik then grabs Saul and escorts the drunkard out for spilling my beer.
Okay, that goes according to plan.
And then part 2 of the plan is I claim to be just sickened by the whole thing. Go into the back of the gambling hall, where I'm assuming the pots are. Cast another disguise self. You can't see the area,
but there's a kitchen house. Yeah.
Cast another disguise self on myself, turn myself into a washerwoman, and slip out the back.
Okay, give me a stealth check on that last part. Well, apparently everyone who's working in the kitchen is drunk out of their minds as well, and no one notices you when you duck behind something to turn into a bar wench. Alright, so you are now a bar wench in the bar. We have a cat who is going to investigate the inn, and Saul and Iklik are making their way north.
Part 3 of my plan is to catch up to them.
Okay. Let's go to Seth for a second, who is... there's a little cat door on the inn.
Yay! I hope every house has a cat door. That'll make stealing things so much easier.
No, mostly the inns around here, because people love their cats. They're considered a good omen.
Very good.
And it's a cheap way to get into the house.
Or Japan.
So Seth just strolls in like he owns the place.
You are free to do so. The woman at the desk comments on how adorable the cat is before returning to doing her bookwork. And there is going to be a small cat here. Well, a small cat sitting at the closer table, not the closest table, but the one... How can I...
You can ping.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Wait, ping. How do I ping?
Just click and hold.
There's a cat here.
Okay. So, here.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I'm very happy I'm not the only one that doesn't know how to do something here.
So
and,
Seth walks over to the cat.
The cat is vigorously cleaning itself, almost out of an anxious behavior. Now, speak to animals is just an ability, right?
No, that's my language.
Ah, language. All right. In which case, you can just talk to the cat.
Right. So, he kind of hops up next to the cat, and I assume he knows this cat basically because it's the
if you've been in the area for a while, you two know each other. Yes.
Okay.
You wouldn't know the cat's name because, well, as a cat, you know, names don't actually matter that much.
Right. So he just kind of hops up and kind of lays down and crosses his paws and says, "Hey, buddy, what's got you so nervous?"
I thought there was a dragon. I could have sworn it was a dragon, but I couldn't see it. I just felt it. I felt it, and he keeps licking his paws the entire time he speaks.
When did you feel a dragon?
I don't know. I saw someone sparkling, and then I got overwhelmed with a fear of that's... You know the feeling. You know what it's like when a dragon comes, don't you? Don't you?
Yeah, the hair on Seth's on his spine, his hackles go up just a little bit. Just kind of like knowing that fear a little bit. And he nods and he says, "How long ago did you feel this?"
Not very long ago. There was the guard who was trying to talk to that enormous creature, and then someone was running away, a rich woman who I was trying to steal from her pocket. She had food in there, I know it. But afterwards, I felt the dragon, and I had to get back to safety.
Seth lazily kind of stretches and says, I understand, and he just hops off the table and walks away.
The cat is nervously licking its balls.
Right. So would Seth be able to make the connection of the dragonborn type thing and the homeless person in the description of the dragon? Would he be able to...
You would have picked up on the fact that the sparkling person had something to do with it, but you wouldn't know if it was the sparkling person or the noble that preceded the fear.
Okay.
And again, it would be the procession of events rather than any specific individual.
Right. All right. Well, he tucks that knowledge away and goes to sniff out his creatures.
Alright, so now I presume you guys are heading straight north from here in multiple groups?
Well, I'm being
Yes.
carried north, so...
One of you is being carried, yes. Now, which of these maps has the...
No. I mean, Phage is with me at the place making a scene, right?
Well, presumably the scene is already finished, and Phage's character is now transformed and making a stealthy exit. That being said, I'm going to show you an overworld map.
Yay! World
Waterdeep.
map.
So, no. Hide that shit. So, down in the southwest corner, you can see Waterdeep. Over to the west, you can see Neverwinter and Huskan, and just there's two roads. You've got the long road, which heads from Waterdeep to Neverwinter, and you've got the high road, which heads from Waterdeep to Red Larch to Tribor. And though the map doesn't really show it, it's speckled forests are spared along the road to Red Larch. This area is well known for vagabonds trying to rob people who are leaving Waterdeep.
So which direction are we going?
It's the road.
You're going from Waterdeep to Red Larch, so opposite
It's
direction.
the road from Red Larch to Waterdeep the vagabonds used to go after people, correct?
Yes.
Okay, what do you know about this area? Toward the river, the Sarine.
Give me a knowledge geography.
I think it's more of a path rather than a road because it's in cut lines.
Yeah, it's not a paved road.
Yeah, I just want to have an idea of how long it takes to travel to the river from
It would
Red
be
Larch.
if you traveled up the river and then down the dirt path that heads east out of Red Larch, you would be basically doubling the length of your trip. In addition, there are mountains, and the likelihood of finding vagabonds is just as likely.
Okay.
Not to mention, you kind of want this main road paved because the mayor is not going to take some peasant's road and then attempt to travel down a river to get to Waterdeep.
Okay. Which means that I need to use Lord Baggins after all.
By the way, are none of you going to investigate the note that she actually handed over to you?
Oh, I didn't even know that she handed a note.
My apologies.
She handed a note.
Yeah, she handed over a note. It was a, it's a very light tan paper folded into an envelope with a very specific seal on it of 2 crossed daggers over the face of a over the face of a lion.
Okay.
I'm not opening it because my job is to deliver it.
Yes, but, you know, investigating the seal on it, the wax seal on it would be a thing, too.
So a couple of things. Seth would like to smell it, but he'd also like to... So have we left or have we not left?
I presume you guys are at the downs, at the edge of the town.
Okay.
What is called the Upper Downs. It's the lowland between 2 sets of walls that were built after the Troll Wars.
Okay. Well, Seth would like to smell it, but the other thing I wanted to do, but I guess maybe I probably won't end up doing since we're not in town anymore, is kind of hold it up to the light to see if you can see anything.
You would need to be in human form and, you know, with the group at this point to do it.
Right.
Ikrik is not interested in paper unless it's for one single purpose.
Food?
No, wiping your ass.
Aha.
Okay.
Well, what time of day is it?
It's after midday, so mid-afternoon.
Right.
Oh, great.
The sun is
fleshies are going
starting.
to want food soon.
Yeah, the sun is starting to set. Not starting to set, but will be setting by the time you guys get out on the road.
Alright, well, Seth has sniffed and caught up with everyone.
Okay, I'm going to ask Tegvan and Sev to grab us some food for the journey back and forth.
Okay. Well,
Well, there are inns and taverns and all sorts of things in Waterdeep you can do that at. Once you get to the downs, though, there aren't many shops or vendors.
I like it to be an adventure shop here, so we can get something.
Is there any near the edge of, like, right before we exit?
I believe so. Yeah, you should be able to let's just repeat myself for a while. You should be able to pick up food on any of the streets heading out to the downs. Here, let me bring you guys back into town for a second. Do you guys see the high road there on the east side of the map?
Yes.
Zoom out.
Anywhere in the gray area would have shops, would have animal keepers for, like, horses to ride, would have carts, just general shopping in that area.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to, at this point, take a look around for anyone that's wounded.
Well, you are going to find quite a number, because this is still technically in the North Ward, which is many of the beggars and the other transients who had come through the portal to take part, to hope to beg for wealth from the wealthy in Waterdeep, have begun taking up on the corners and in the alleyways.
Now it's time to reach the faith of Kronos and deliver healing onto them.
Alright, pick a street.
In the Upper Downs?
No, you guys, I figured you guys were still along the high road before the Upper Downs.
This area looks pretty packed.
I did not see your notification, your ping.
Up by the gate.
Yeah, that is mostly homes. There are a few wealthy homes in the area, with the most wealthy being right at the exits, because oh god, what do they call them? Essentially a captain of the watch lives there. And of course the captain of the watch is not a big fan of the homeless that have encroached upon Waterdeep. And yet they
So-
still stick around. There are 2 people you can attempt to heal. Are you sure you want to spend your last 2 spells for the day?
These come from my arcane reservoir.
Aha, that's a good choice.
This area right here that I drew a circle or a rectangle around, did you say that was shopping?
There would be shops in there, yes.
Okay.
They wouldn't be of the same bazaar style shops that you would find in the market to the south. Instead, these would be more like mom and pop shops.
Gotcha.
See if you can get us some travel rations. I say to Sev and hand 12 gold coin to him.
All right.
Meanwhile, I'll see what donations. I won't out and out demand them, but if they happen to offer them, I'll be taking them with me.
Alright, there are 2 people of note in the area worth attempting to heal.
I'm going to ask Tagben.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to ask Tagben if he thinks we can recruit any people to help us.
Most of these people look very sickly. They don't seem like the type of person who would be... Well, those who don't look sickly look like they work for the watch or the guard. So, honestly, it doesn't seem like the kind of people that would be good to recruit at the moment. As for donations, one person is able to donate an entire 5 copper if you're able to heal them. Now, which healing spell are you using?
Well, at present, I only have access to Cure Light Wounds, so unless it's a wound, I can't really do much for them.
Well, this person has a broken leg, and they walk with a rather gnarled piece of wood that could be used as a quarterstaff in a pinch, but clearly is mostly used to put their weight against. Broken leg is not necessarily light wounds. However, if you were to cast light wounds on it, you would reduce the time it took for them to heal and reduce their pain.
That's good enough. Let's see how well it is.
They are human, by the way.
I wish I was.
You know what? I'm throwing a second one on the guy with the broken leg, because 3 just isn't going to do it. Holy
it could have been
Kronos, you're cursing me.
Well,
it could have been much worse, and he's very appreciative, even handing over 5 copper to you for the honor, although he knows nothing of Kronos and finds it quite strange that you're talking about clocks.
You want to get those legs out of the way anyway, so.
I'll accept 2 of the coppers.
Oh, very good of you. He smiles even greater, and he turns around to the other man and says, "This is such an amazing man. I'm so man, woman, creature, whatever you are."
They wouldn't be able to tell.
Right. Okay. This bandaged arcanist has done so is wonderful, and you can presume that word is going to spread of your works in doing so.
Excellent. Precisely what we needed right now. Good press. It'll come in handy later.
Now, Tegwin, are you looking for shops? Not Tegwin, I'm sorry, Seth. I'm sorry, Seth. I thought Seth was looking for shops.
Yes, I am looking for shops.
Now, what exactly are you shopping for?
Well, for one, some dry rations for that the kobold requested. But I'm also interested in seeing if I can find any thieves' tools. Probably wouldn't be in this. Probably would be in a seedier part of town. But I just kind of look anyways.
You would need pemmican for the orc.
Yeah, you would need to go to the market for thieves' tools and find one of the back alley vendors who sell on blankets for thieves' tools. However, where, fuck, I just had it open. Where is it? There it is. Alright, so rations cost either 1 silver, 3 silver, or 5 silver, depending on the quality of... excuse me. Oh, rations are more expensive, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was...
Meals are 1 silver, 3 silver, and 5 silver.
I was basically looking for some stuff that would last if it's not eaten right away.
Let's see.
Which is why specifically I was looking for dry rations.
Trail rations cost 5 silver apiece, and this is, of course,
Jeez.
actual... Hey, shit ain't cheap in fucking Waterdeep.
Jeez!
And it's usually hardtack, jerky, dried fruit, these kinds of foods. It'll
Right.
it can go for months without spoiling.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna say jerky.
Yeah, probably.
And each for 5 silver each is a day's worth of food.
Oh, okay. For one person?
Yes.
How many silver is in a gold?
10.
There's my roll for healing the other.
The man looks up to you quite confused because he didn't request it. However, when he realizes that the pain had left him and the scar on his face, rather the scar on his, I guess it's going to be on his arm, has faded some, he stares at you with utter amazement. He's speechless.
And
almost.
then I turn and walk away.
Yeah, well, he is running off to meet up, presumably with other people within his community of beggars. Once it dawns on him what has occurred.
Our information network grows.
Yay! Animals and beggars.
They see everything.
Well, no, you guys are doing a damn good job with this shit too.
Alright, I'd like to buy 4 gold worth of rations, I guess.
Okay, so 8
So
rations
that's
total.
8. Right.
These are trail rations.
Right.
Be thankful you're not buying dwarven trail rations, which cost 2 gold apiece.
Yeah, but those also come with
Smoked
paint
sausages,
thinners /
salted
flammables
meats,
/
biscuits.
dwarven holy water.
Yep.
Doubles as a Molotov cocktail.
Of course it does.
No, that's just regular dwarven water. Alright, well...
Now I presume a lot of you are going to meet up at the exit to the Upper Downs, which is essentially the exit to town.
Just out of curiosity, would I have been able to haggle?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You can bargain, absolutely.
Okay. There's no, like, skill for bargaining, so...
I think it's a straight charisma check.
Yeah, it's a straight charisma check. There should be a die on your character sheet you can roll next to charisma.
Alright, well, my charisma isn't... Well, it's not terrible. Actually, it's not terrible.
Congratulations! You're gonna be getting it for, how much? It was 5 silver?
5 silver.
Yeah, well, how much are you trying to negotiate down?
I can start with, like, 1 silver?
Well, you can absolutely get it for 1 silver cheaper.
Sweet. Oh, okay.
I did not mean to roll that publicly, but yeah. The shopkeep you are talking to does not smart good.
Alright.
Shopkeeper lives matter.
I mean, and the reason I'm only going with 1 silver is because I only rolled a 6, so his is only half of mine. So all right, so then how many can I get for 4 silver apiece? Steph, not math good either.
You want 4? You still want 4 gold total?
Yeah.
Well,
actually, you know
one
what? No,
more ration.
No, I take that, but how much would I have left over?
Well, 4 times 8 is 32 silver, or 3 gold, 2 silver. So you've got 2 more rations.
Okay, well, what I was gonna say is,
No,
I'll take...
Yeah, 2 more rations.
I'll take the 8 silver, or the 8 rations, and I pocket the rest.
Alright, you can feel free. It's your party.
Well, they wouldn't know. They would just think that I bought the...
Yeah, they wouldn't know, but it's your party.
I, on the other hand, will
Seth's
hit
a rogue.
No, it's fine. No, do what you. I'm not trying to stop you. I think it's actually perfectly within character.
I'm going to hit the lower market vendors, pick up beans, flour, and probably some grains. They're not rations, but they're a heck of a lot cheaper.
I'm just going to
Yes,
sit.
they are. I mean,
just
we're
going to
talking about a copper for each of those.
Yep.
I'm just going to sit sit at the wall and drink my wine, or I'll pretend I'm drinking my wine.
Okay.
I'll spend 2 silver and get 20 pounds. Just
Are you still
assorted
disguised?
food stuff.
Yes.
The captain of the guard watch, who watches from that from the tower exit, comes and tries to usher you along. Get out of here, beggar. No one wants your types here.
Okay, I move along.
All right. Just. By the way, all these circles on the walls all have guard watch, city watch in them, and there are multiple city watch guarding each of the little passage up the high road.
I'm going to do a perform check.
Okay. No, you're not terrible at performing.
Nope. I am the beggar.
So
A
you
drunk
just
beggar.
performing?
I performed a performance. Unfortunately, the only people around are City Watch and other beggars, so while the beggars clap as you perform, the City Watch mostly try to turn their attention away.
Yeah, but thing is, the performance I'm putting, that is, I am the beggar. I'm just still in role.
So he's not actually performing, he's just performing being a
Oh, I
beggar.
misunderstood. Okay, yeah, well, they wouldn't have questioned it based on your disguise, but
But you're really convincing.
Yeah. One of the watchmen looks over with a raised eyebrow, wondering why you're laying it on so thick, but then passes it off as, oh, he must want money.
So how far is the on foot?
On foot, it's going to be like 12 hours. Not counting time spent in battle. If you get a battle.
Well, that's not that bad actually. Because I was wondering if we should rent a cart or something like that.
I don't think
If
they
it would be worth
do
it.
rent a cart.
Yes, they do.
Really?
Yeah.
She mentioned stables, so
Yeah, there's a stablery and a cart maker literally right next to the exit of town. This
Alright,
is a stablery. Fucking which button do I use? This is a stablery, and this is a carpenter.
Okay, I didn't see. Oh, okay. So this square, this is a carpenter. Where was the stable? Across
The
the street?
stablery is here, right across the street.
Okay. I just want to. How far away is the market or whatever?
The market is directly south. Actually, not as far as you might think. So, the center market is about 2 blocks south. Let me show you guys the map right quick. So, if you see the colors, you'll notice that the gray matches up right here. This is directly south of where you would have been buying rations.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would like to kind of trot down to the market and see if I can find some common thieves' tools.
Alright, let me check the price on that right quick.
30 silver. Or, sorry, 30 gold.
I was about to say, 30 silver? And how much does that weigh? Just out of curiosity for myself.
A pound?
Alright, well, okay, so there is an alleyway right here in which some shadier individuals who are staying away from the center market sell different interesting items.
Alright. Seth's gonna walk down there.
Quotations.
Now, are you going to try and barter with him, or are you just going to...
I want to size him up first.
Alright, give me a perception check on that.
Alright. Perception.
You can tell by the wings on its back that this Azamar is not someone you want to lie to, because they will see right through it due to their celestial blood.
Nice. Well, in that case, he will try to, like, barter, but, like, he's going to do it... He's not going to be very... No, he's not going to be aggressive.
Okay. Well, give me your, yeah, give me your charisma.
Okay. It's too bad that there's not that I have to do a straight charisma for that.
I'm sorry. I mean, do your charisma check. I need to see what you get, but...
Sure. No, you're fine. 7.
This man will not... This angelic man will not budge. In fact, you can see when you even try to barter with him that his eyes kind of glow of fire as if he's insulted by the very prospect of
Basically, he's immune to cute kitty photos.
Yeah, well, no, he fucking rolled a 20.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I do want, because I imagine we'll probably be bartering a lot, so if there is a skill, like, if we can discuss it, that's an actual skill that we can put points into to raise
That's actually
something.
that's actually a good point.
Diplomacy?
I honestly think we should be using just diplomacy for bartering.
Right. Okay. Well, then that would have been a +6, but that's still lower than.
Yeah, that's still not higher than 22, unfortunately.
Right. So, okay. Well, that's the reason I didn't want to be very aggressive about it. So I pay the 30 gold.
All right. Well, the flames in his eyes dim. He spreads his wings appreciably and thanks you for your business.
All right.
However, by spending that much money, give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. 15.
You notice that you've gained a tail, and not a cat's tail, a person trying to follow you. They're hiding around the corners of buildings, but peeking out as whenever you pass through, and keeping a good 20-foot distance from you as they follow.
Okay. I'm going to dart around a corner, and I would like to roll a stealth check.
Go right ahead.
All right. 27.
Holy shit! Okay, I gotta roll it. You lose him. You actually see him wander past the corner as he's searching, but he looks right past you as he looks down the corridor, and walks on by. Would you like to roll perception to learn more about your tale?
Yes, I would. 10.
This isn't just a common... you don't know much, but you can tell this isn't a common beggar by the fact he's not carrying a cheap shiv. You can see the sheathed knife that he carries on his hip has been well handled. It's been wrapped with... the handle has been wrapped with a very fine leather.
Okay. I'd like to roll, since I rolled such a high stealth, I'd like to kind of roll acrobatics and see if I can make my way across, quietly across the rooftops.
Are you in cat form or human form?
Question, can I store stuff on me?
If it's on your person, If it's okay, if it's in a pocket or in a bag that is on your person, when you transform, it's part of the enchantment.
Okay, so then I put my stuff in my bag that I carry with me, especially since it's not very heavy, and I transform into a cat.
Okay. Let's see that acrobatics.
20?
Alright, he is not able to notice you. He is heading down the street of Silver, excuse me, and he looks quite frustrated.
Sorry, what street? So I'm trying to look at the map and seeing if I can,
Okay, from the market, if you go straight south, there are two streets. There are a number of major streets. There's Street of the Bells, Street of the Sword, Warrior's Way, Street of Silver, Silks, and then Sword Street. Sword Street is the street that kind of wraps all the way around the edge of the city.
Okay, can you just ping where I saw him go?
You would, so from here... Okay, from here, he would have... This is where where he was following you. This would be where you lost him, I presume?
Okay.
And then this is where he started heading back down the road.
Oh,
heading
okay.
south.
I see the Street of Silver now.
Yeah.
Alright. I'd like to follow him just for a little bit.
Certainly. As he's walking down the way, you see him meet up with another individual who, presumably, he has just about a matching knife. However, their outfits, they're tattered leathers and cloths, so there's not much to determine about their actual clothes. And they're speaking... I'm sorry?
What do they look like?
One is a half-orc. The person that... So, the human is the one... There's a human who was following you, and he's meeting up with a half-orc. The human is of dark hair, middling age, maybe 30, has a scar under his eye, and the half-orc looks distinctly half-orc.
And what was the... Did you say that I noticed specifically, like, was it a dagger, or...?
Yes, they're both carrying the same dagger. They're not cheap shivs. It's clear that they went through the effort of paying someone or working for themselves to wrap the handle in a fine leather, and it is hilted rather than a straight dagger off of a handle.
Right, and
Can
if
the
I'm on a...
half-orc have any characteristic differences, like a scar on his face or something?
The half-orc?
Mm-hmm.
The half-orc has a broken lower tooth, so a broken lower fang.
Okay.
I would like to... Is there any way I can get, like, a closer... Like, can I hear them talk?
You would probably have to stealth up, and then perceive.
Alright, I would like to do that. 29?
Well, yeah. You could fart in their face and they wouldn't notice.
And I would like to roll perception, 14.
Alright, they're mostly discussing a mark, which is pretty safe to assume is you. And then the orc mentions, are you sure that's the one that you saw around the lawyer's house?
Okay.
But disappointed, they resign themselves and decide that and say, so what pub do we want to hit up this time?
Question.
Yes.
Like, because I was in human form when I bought my stuff.
Right.
And when I was around the lawyer's house, other than that very brief amount of time where I was in human form, like, would they even know?
I thought you took to human form when you started heading north to the northward. Excuse me, to the seaward.
No. Okay, so here's what I did. When we were outside, well, it's fine. It doesn't matter if they want to.
Okay, I'm sorry. What I'm presuming is that at some point one of them saw, and I'm just gonna spell it out. One of them saw you with one of the others in the group, probably the orc, while you were in human form.
All right, I guess that's what I was planning on doing was that I was only human for a short amount of time when we went back inside, and I asked if anybody was concerned about everyone running away. And then I turned back into my cat form. I went and talked to the end cat, and then I went north from there basically. I mean, as a cat.
Okay, I misunderstood that. At what point did you turn into it? Okay, in which case, they were just trying to rob you, and I made a mistake. Or one of them was just trying to rob you, and I made a mistake. So when you sneak up upon them, they're mostly discussing the fact. Scratch everything else I said. They're mostly discussing the fact that they weren't able to get any marks, and they're both quite poor and just want to drink off their sorrows.
I kind of liked the other situation, and I kind of wanted to retcon it as them.
Yeah, but if you were a cat that much, they wouldn't have had the opportunity to catch you.
Right.
And at which point they wouldn't actually, even if you hadn't gotten such a good stealth check, they wouldn't notice. They wouldn't pay much heed to a small cat.
Right. Yeah, and that was my concern. I think that most of the time, just unless I specify that I'm in human form.
Okay.
I would like to assume that he's in cat form, since that's his natural form.
Alright, but just recognize that if you talk as a cat, you might scare people.
Right. Understood, which is why he doesn't do that very often. He's generally very quiet. Yeah, he's generally... And he does... He has spoken to the group.
Yeah, now you have. Oh, wait. You have? Yes, you did.
Yes.
Yes, right at the end there. Okay.
Right, yes.
Right before everyone started heading out. However, yeah, daylight is waning. The sun is beginning to lower below the western side of the city. It's if you guys want to head out, you guys will have to stop halfway on your partway on your journey. Unless you guys want to attempt traveling all night in the dark with vagabonds and whites on the road. Oh, did I mention whites?
No bother for me.
Not bother for me.
It doesn't really bother for me either. I'm a cat. I don't imagine.
White power.
Whites would be a bit more.
I mean, I have dark side, so.
Just as I head back up it was unfortunate, that situation that I wasted so much time on, but
yes,
it's okay.
It is.
Yeah, but on the plus side, if someone's trying to tail you guys as a group, they haven't gotten any good information.
Right, and I like the fact that nobody knows what I actually look like.
Yes.
As far as cat, whatever. So, I would like to head back up the street, go into an alley near the cart place.
Okay.
And transform into my human form, and then just ask how much it is to rent a cart.
We don't rent. Oh, well, carts would. Carts would be here.
A cart and a horse, or just horse. Oh,
you tend to buy them separately. Okay. The carpenter doesn't rent. However, the stablery will rent you a horse for a price of 5 gold per day.
Okay, that's too much. So I hop back into my cat form, and I make my way back to the kobold and the orc. And,
okay. I presume you guys are just hanging out close to the exit to the upper downs.
Pretty much, and trying to shoot post in the process.
I'm going to avoid drawing.
80 bottles of rum.
Actually, if they're doing that, I'm heading out into the poorest section and putting on a prestidigitation magic show. Why not? Well entertained people.
The beggars' communities tend to hang out in the hero's garden, ironically. So...
Perfect. That's where I'll be while she's running around getting tailed. I'll be entertaining small children. With magic.
The small children don't tend to have much money, however their parents do.
I'm not asking for money.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
if you're doing prestidigitation, some people are going to presume you want copper thrown at your feet. So
You won't complain.
I guess it depends if you roll or not. If you want to roll for it, I'll determine how much money.
She won't complain about it.
I will... let's see. What skills do I have that would actually be applicable to this little thing while our glorious leader is getting drunk and our orc is looking for a fight?
He isn't getting drunk, he's just playing that he's drunk. But he can do card tricks.
Ikrig is not happy because she knows she shouldn't cause a big fight right now.
Okay, it'll be a historical show with little magical representations just running around.
Well, you're fascinating the children, but you are slightly upsetting the beggars because you're distracting from their attempts to, well, beg.
Ah, but here comes the next part. Any coppers that were thrown, I go around and give to the beggars before meeting back up with them.
Alright, let me...
Tink, 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 tink.
Alright, so 6 copper have fallen at your feet during the show, so you can distribute those as desired. There are about 10 beggars. Clearly, most of them are part of the same group. However, give me a perception check. You recognize... wait. You were outside... Were you outside for the beggar outside of the...
Yeah.
So you recognize... You recognize a sparkly-skinned beggar.
Does he feel anything?
Give me a will check.
Where the hell? Let me find it. The sheet's a little...
4. That's your main stats.
Well, I'm on core right now. I just don't see my saving throws.
No, it's not. Oh, right. Saving throws. I was thinking it was
Defenses. There we go. 17?
Well, strangely enough, despite some of the beggars avoiding him directly and they having a bit of fear in their eyes, you're not actually feeling anything.
Well, that explains a little bit. And you said there were 10 of them, right?
Yes, the sparkly beggar and one other are sitting together and they are counting their coins, whereas the rest are kind of evenly distributed, but it's clear that they know each other because whenever they think someone's not looking, they call out to each other and show off the coin that they just got if someone threw some to them.
Alright then, I'll take some of my own copper and drop a copper into each of their cups before exiting with my new knowledge.
Are you dropping a copper for the sparkly beggar?
Yes.
Okay.
I assume he's one of the 10.
Yes. It's just that you only have the 6 copper, unless you're also taking from your pocket.
Yes,
to... Okay,
I am.
now I understand. My apologies. He smiles at you again. Or he smiles at you. He does not recognize you, but he's very thankful. And he's this sparkly beggar and his friend, who happens to be a halfling, ask if there's anything they can do for you when you give them the money.
Shake my head and wave it off.
They thank you again and go back to counting their coin and discussing where they might get their next drink.
Just out of curiosity, under the notes section, could you give me a blank note where I can take notes and stuff?
I think you can make one.
I don't think I can. I don't know how to.
Is the arrow pointing to the right or down?
All I see is player characters.
Under notes. In your character.
Journal.
Yeah, these are all user-defined. Is,
I just meant in the Roll20 app, like...
Oh.
Like just a blank.
She wants you to create a handout for her.
I don't know how to make a completely blank handout.
Okay, go into the journal and,
Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
In players' journals, Adwa can be edited by Adwa.
Cool.
Save changes.
Thank you.
It is titled Mysterious Notes.
I just figure it's easier to put notes in here than it is to try to put it on my character sheet.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, so do none of you else want to do anything here while you're doing, while we're at this point?
No, but I suppose that I managed to get my trick stick with me.
Actually, there is one thing. I'd like a bag with a sand and to see if I can get some rough gem.
I'm sorry, one more time?
A bag with sand and some rough gems.
Where would you buy that?
Well, it's like standard lapidary stuff. Jewelcraft. I plan on doing some tumbling while we walk.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake.
Oh no, you roll it back.
Oh, thank God, someone
roll it
has
in the
written a
bag.
book about this. Alright, so a bag of sand costs 2 copper. Rough gems are going to be essentially a haggle check, a diplomacy check, with someone in the market area.
And my diplomacy sucks, but here it goes. Yeah, that's
Yeah, you're gonna be paying a silver apiece for your rocks.
That's fine.
And low quality is a typical quality is going to be a craft DC of 10 and take you know, maybe 4 hours. A high quality item is a DC of 15 and a complex or superior item is a DC of 20. But you would probably roll those, you know, after time has passed rather than before.
Yes.
So at this point, you've got maybe 4 hours of daylight left, including the sunset. Do you guys want to head out on the road, or do you guys want to head to an inn?
I think we just go to head out to the road. I believe most of us are creatures of the night.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Well,
Here.
do you guys have do any you wait, you guys should each of you should already have an adventuring gear kit, right?
Yes.
Do we
An
start with
adventurer's
one?
kit? You're supposed to, yes.
Then yes.
Bedroll, rations, torches, that kind of stuff. Alright, so in which case, yeah, let us start on the road to Red Lurch.
On the road again.
We are
We
finally
are
moving.
on the
Hooray.
road again. Well, you
So,
get
welcome to the surrounds of Waterdeep.
Just out of curiosity, really fast, the person who gave the mission, what was their name again?
Ciara Aslan. Excuse me, Ciara Arzan. Syara-Arzan.
Smelled of expensive perfume.
when we get as far from Waterdeep that it's clearly just us and it's easy to see anyone else being close by to hear what we are saying, I stop the act.
Okay, I mean, you only have to go a couple 100 feet away because the Downs is a pretty good buffer to sound, and the most that's going to happen is the watch might see you in the far distance leaving. And I'm going to be bringing this game to a close here in just a few minutes, so you might want to get your last actions in.
Sounds like a good move, because exiting the city, new chapter open, at least book logics.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I'm also quite exhausted personally. It has been a long and hot day.
It's been a long week too here. Even though actually cold here, freezing.
I know. It was fun playing with you all.
I'm
We had
glad.
really fun getting rid of any possible tales.
I mean, I'm still trying to catch my parents with this
Wait,
stuff.
getting rid of Tails. Seth looks behind him and makes sure he still has his tail.
Oh, and you guys have some awesome characters, by the way. I really enjoy all of your characters.
Glad you like them.
Yes, we are quite the cast of Waterdeep.
Cast of Vagabonds. Oh, wait. And thank you to everyone in the audience who was watching. That was, I mean, this is... I love doing this kind of stuff, but having an audience to do it, this is the first time I've done it for a large group, and a big thank you to all of you there.
If you like more, remember to give a thumbs up, like, and subscribe.
Also, remember about the Patreon link, peoples. Food!
Yes. Please, buy me a drink if you enjoy the games.
Buy a sandwich for the orc. She needs more sandwiches for the cat.
Yes.
And it's so appropriate for the character.
And I've been thinking about it through the game. If we get donations during the show, I am absolutely going to turn it into events that occur in-game.
Oh boy, we're all gonna die horribly. Well, you guys are going to die horribly. I already died horribly, thanks.
You're going to be disassembled horribly.
I'll just dash up a tree. Thanks.
Now,
do you know how long it takes to
Eco
pull
smash.
oneself back together?
Eco smash.
Now, I did have a question before we cut everything off. I wanted to know how you all thought about the way I was handling the map and the actual presentation of the game, because honestly, it's been like 6 years since I've DM'd or played.
I mean,
I think you did a good job.
Well,
yeah,
it's
me
perfectly
too.
fine
And
to
I'm
me, yeah.
totally new to this, and I thought it was comfortable, so that.
Oh, thank you guys so much, because I was very anxious about this one, because it's like my return to gaming.
So
Hey, it's the first time I've gotten to play in 15 years, so I'm happy.
Yeah, he's always DMing.
It's always
In-
DM first.
In a way, to me, it's like if you can make a newcomer kind of know what's going on, I guess you're good.
True.
So just a couple of things though. You can draw on the map for us to see as well as ping.
I really probably should do that more, yes.
Yeah, so that way, like how I drew the little
The square, yeah.
the square and stuff like that. That way, because these maps are pretty detailed, so it is pretty easy to kind of get lost.
Right.
Well, if you want, you could sit in on our game tomorrow.
Might just
yeah. Yeah.
We usually start around 3 Eastern, so...
Awesome. Well, I will see everyone later, and thank you all again. And with that, I will
Thanks,
kill
everyone.
the
Bye-bye.
streamers.
Thanks.
See you.